Like people really want the site to load fast, and if it doesn't, they bounce.
3 seconds reduces 60% of your buyers.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
The thing that will make you the most money the fastest is to fix your checkout in your cart.
So many e-commerce and SaaS people, they're the worst at this.
Yeah.
They don't
Their
want
checkout is terrible.
any human connection whatsoever.
The moment that you do that, it's reduced our errors in the email field up to 70%.
It's Crossing with Your Day, the Google News, and I'm so excited today. We're talking to Matthew Stafford, owner and CEO of Build, Grow, Scale, which has been one of the, I'd say, top e-commerce education companies for quite some time, Matt. I feel like you've been it for at least as long as I've been in the game. When did y'all start this?
Yeah, it's probably been around 8 or 9 years. So
Yeah,
10
that's
years.
like a million years in internet years
Yeah,
now, like
yeah.
approaching a decade. Yeah. And I love it because on the top of your website, it says over 400 million in e-commerce sales. And I asked you about that before we started recording, and you were like, yeah, we stopped counting years ago. So it's probably like $1 billion at this point, I bet.
Yeah, for me, I feel like when we say those really big numbers for the average normal person who is looking at what we do, it's hard for them to fathom. And in interviewing a bunch of our customers, I've asked them questions like, hey, what did you think of the website? Because obviously we're always optimizing websites. And a bunch of them said, oh, well, we thought you were too big to help us. And so I realized, like, us saying what the number, maybe what the actual number is now, doesn't actually do us any favors. It actually pigeonholed us into people that thought that they couldn't deal with us, that we actually get the most enjoyment out of serving. So
that's one of the dangers of branding. It's such a double-edged sword because you
yeah,
can actually brand yourself out of your target demographic.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to encapsulate what you do, and then maybe you'll fix it for me. Okay.
Sure, sounds good.
You're something of an education and mastermind that teaches people how to optimize their e-commerce store
Yeah.
at every stage of the process. How did I do there?
Yeah, perfect. So really build, we have it's called eCommerce Business Blueprint, which is a program that teaches them how to set their store up with all the best practices, all the stuff that we've figured out over the years, and then how to run traffic, try to get them up to about $5,000 a month. Then the grow portion of it is our guided mentoring, which is the mastermind part that you were talking about. It's got a couple hundred store owners in there. We all share. I always say that what we teach now, we've been teaching it so long, it's kind of a commodity, but what you can't commoditize is the community. And so in this type of business, you spend a lot of time behind your computer and away from people. And so that community becomes really valuable. And there's no way that you can know everything. E-commerce is just so big. And so to have that community that you can be like, hey, I'm running into this, and all of a sudden 7 or 8 or 10 store owners jump in and, oh, we use this app, or, oh, here's somebody that can help you out, or whatever. Like we refer you guys all the time because we're like, oh, who does Google ads? Da, 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 and we'll tell them you. And so like that community actually is super valuable. And then the scale part is where we partner with the stores. We do all their data and analytics and split testing and developer work. And then that's where we're getting all of this data that we then can teach the smaller store owners, what's working right now. So it's not like theory or things that we did 10 years ago. It's like we do it all day, every day.
What a huge value proposition that is too, that you'd help partner with. I think the thing that business owners are missing most is the ability to interpret their numbers. And so to just have a partner that can take that and own it would be huge.
Yeah. Yeah. And we teach that inside the group too. So yeah.
I love that you said you can't commoditize community.
Right.
That's an absolutely brilliant statement. I feel like that's for me. If you're watching this or you're one of our subscribers, there's nothing more powerful you can do for yourself than build a community.
Right.
And you can do it in any niche, any industry, any business, any vertical. And it's this well that you get to revisit all the time for like we get leads from our community, of course, but I also get like employees from our community. You know, like the
Yeah,
majority of our
same.
hiring now comes from our YouTube channel
The
and
same.
strategic
Yeah.
partners and referrals. And, you know, people like I'm supposed to be the thought leader in Google Ads, and I'm getting hit up all the time on LinkedIn and Twitter saying like, hey, dude, have you seen this yet? And I'm like, I haven't. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You know, like they feed me now. It's crazy.
Yeah, because we get busy running the business.
Right.
Yeah. And so what we've always said is we're not a guru business. Like we only focus on one thing. When someone lands on your website, to get them to have a good customer journey and spend money with you, and that's it. So our best referral sources are like venture capital firms and ads companies, because we help the site convert better, make more sales. They can scale media, etc. We don't compete with them. So we actually have people like you and Sawtooth and whatever teach inside of our community, because we can't know it all. And if we tried to project that we did, we would just give them mediocre advice. And so we actually have a developer that teaches Tech Tuesday. We have a Facebook company that teaches Facebook Fridays, and etc. It's a great community.
That's really awesome. So if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you to give away as much of the farm as you're comfortable with.
Sure.
Half of my listeners are agencies. The other half are business owners.
Yeah.
And what I'd like to focus on are, I'm stealing this from Ralph Burns, by the way. He always says the little hinge that swings the big door.
Yeah.
And I love that specific contextualization, because there's a lot of improvement opportunities. There's a lot of little like 1% here, 1% there. But then there's a couple of things, you know, that just make a huge difference, just give you a lot of leverage. So when you're dealing with e-commerce stores, especially smaller ones, what are the little hinges that swing the big door? This is not a glitch. I'm interrupting the video you're watching because I want to remind you that we provide done-for-you Google Ads services. We're the #1 ranked Google Ads agency on the planet with almost $100 million in ad spend under management. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, C-level exec, director of marketing, and you're managing your own Google Ads, I think that's a massively inefficient use of your time. As a matter of fact, in my experience, within 90 days, we're able to optimize existing campaigns to a point to where we're paying for ourselves. We move from being a cost center to a profit center. And I want to put my time and my money where my mouth is. If you're spending $10,000 a month or more in Google Ads, I want to offer you a free, no obligation action plan. A high-level member of my team, one of our strategists, will look at your account, open the hood, and do a full diagnostic and explain everything that we would recommend that you change in order to optimize your campaigns. You can take that, do it yourself. You can hand it to an internal member of your team, or in an ideal world, you can hire us. I'd love the opportunity to earn your business. Please go to sol8.com. That's SOL, the number 8.com. Request your free action plan. Until then, back to your regularly scheduled program.
We talk about it a lot. Site speed is a huge factor in conversion rate. So I think, the monthly marketing thing that we put out coming out this month is all about site speed. So 1 second will reduce like 16% of your buyers. 2 seconds, it's like 46%. 3 seconds, it's over 60%. So like people really want the site to load fast. And if it doesn't, they bounce.
3 seconds reduces 60% of your buyers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
the little hinge that swings the big door right there. Go beat up site speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I knew site speed was important. I didn't realize it was that bad. 3 seconds.
Yeah, Google gives a lot of stats around it, because they actually, the faster your site loads, the more organic traffic they'll give you, because they expect that to be a good site experience. So when we go in and do, we have it as a service, but when we go in and fix people's site speed, we watch their organic traffic go up a lot in some cases.
Do you only work with Shopify, or are you doing everything? BigCommerce, WooCommerce, Solution, Samcart?
No, we'll do like Shopify, WooCommerce, some BigCommerce. That's like 90% of who we deal with. And so yeah, it'd be great to say we do everything, but we don't. So
no, anybody who says they do everything, I'm always like, I'm skeptical of you now. I love what you said about the search bar. Search is 10% of your traffic, but 30% of your sales.
Yeah.
That's so, dude, I love that you have all these data points too.
Typically less. Like we had a store that about 7% of their search traffic was bringing in 37% of their volume. Huge. The other thing that I would tell everybody, if you want like these little tidbits, they always start on their homepage, because that's what makes them feel good and that's what they're always looking at. But the thing that will make you the most money the fastest is to fix your checkout in your cart. So you do those first, then every change that you make on your site translates into more money. If you spend, a week fixing your homepage and doing all that, but your cart and your checkout still broken, it feels like you did a bunch of work, but you're not getting any more money. It's very demoralizing, and you end up not really doing the work that you need to because you get frustrated. So if you fix the things that are going to give you money first, then every change you make, you can see if it's good or bad right away. And it gets you a lot more excited to work on your store.
And what are some of the things you can do for checkout and cart?
Make sure that all your buttons are the exact same color from start to finish of your store. It's funny how many, even really big brands that are on Shopify Plus, that it's a default checkout or it's a default checkout button that doesn't match all of the rest of their store branding and colors, because you have to go to a different setting to do it. The other thing is a lot of times it just uploads whatever logo you have on your site. Well, that's valuable real estate because that's where the transaction's about to take place. And so we teach, there's a lot of different things that you can do to increase trust, like put an email, put a phone number, things like that. Have a question, call us, email us along. So you create an image that has your logo, and then trust right there. And they go, oh, wow. In their head, they're like, if I have a problem, I'm gonna be able to get a hold of them, instead of just this generic thing.
I love that you just said that. I feel like so many e-commerce and SaaS people, they're the worst at this.
Yeah.
They don't
Their
want
checkout is terrible.
any human connection whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I love that you're saying like, hey, give them a way to reach out to you, because I can't tell you how many clients I have. It's more than not.
Yeah.
They're like, oh no, we don't want them to be able to call us, email us, find us on social.
The thing is, they won't. People go, oh,
They
that's
just want the option.
They literally want to see that you're available if they can. And so we encourage people to just get a Google Voice number, put a phone number that will send it to an email.
Right.
And then your customer service can take care of it. The other thing, and I just talked at Copy Accelerator, I was really surprised. Another whole niche that gets blamed for everything not working is the copy, the people that write the copy. But like, if the store owner or the site owner hasn't like optimized the checkout, it's default to a poor experience. And that's where they lose a lot of people. It's not the copy not doing the job. It's the store, the store or the checkout page. So in your form field, you have the ability to put text in there. So typically it's always default email, first name, last name, phone, optional, second address or business, all these things that they can go in and adjust. So like in the email field, we put email for order confirmation. The moment that you do that, it's reduced our errors in the email field up to 70%.
Wow.
So like, if you think about it, people will allow you, and I thought of it way back when I was reading, I think it was Contagious or something else, where people will give you information if they have a reason why, if you tell them the reason why. Like 80% of people will let someone cut in line if they go, hey, can I cut in line? I'm running late. Like, it makes no difference what the reason is. You just give them a reason and they'll be like, yeah, go ahead. I'm like, okay, so if we give them a reason why we're asking for their email, maybe we'll get a better email, or maybe we'll get less errors. And so we put in there, the number one open email that gets sent out is order confirmation. And that is the email that we need to send them that. So we just said email for your order confirmation, and it reduced the errors. Then for phone, SMS is about 30 to 40% of your revenue. SMS and email is about 30 to 40% of your revenue in e-commerce. We put phone required for shipping notifications. So both ones, we're giving them what the field is, why we need it. And that has like made a massive difference. We've tested all kinds of language in there. Like we put, we will never call you. But when we did, we will never call you, we literally tanked conversions. It was like a 4x, like worse. And we're like, okay. So what we did is we introduced a problem that they weren't considering, that, oh, if I put my phone number in there, they're going to call me. And so as soon as we went back to, for shipping notifications, we went right back to where it was. So like we know that form field text matters a lot.
That's brilliant. I remember, I forget who it was I was talking to. It was some authority in email marketing. And he said that when you put a notification under an email saying, we hate spam too, or we'll never spam you, he's like, it actually hurts conversions.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why are you bringing up spam?
Yeah.
So
we get that same with too many trust symbols. It makes the site feel untrustworthy. So we actually, when people are putting all kinds of those types of things on their site, or like get rid of them, like you feel like a drop shipper,
Yeah, he who doth protest most.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, that's really brilliant, man. It's so funny because there's all these little micro optimizations you can make, especially in the realm of e-commerce. So some CRO best practices. Somebody asked earlier about a theme. Shopify actually has a theme called the Light theme. So don't confuse my note here with saying choose that theme specifically. Make sure you choose a theme that's lightweight. And you can tell that often, there's a billion and one forums of people talking about what the best theme is and why.